Hey there. It's the KSR Football Podcast presented by Friends of Cole. I'm Nick Roush. That's Adam Luckett. He's Van Hiles. Drew Franklin going to be joining us shortly. He was doing the what do you call it? The Kentucky Basketball Media Day today. So he was doing the other sport. A lot of people are going to be doing the other sport coming up soon, but we're still here to talk about the football sport here on the KSR Football Podcast. Thanks to Friends of Cole. They've been helping our state for a very, very long time. You know that coal has been the economic engine for a long time, but it's resilient, it's reliable, it's affordable, and it's here to provide good jobs and benefits for future generations, not just the past. So check out friendsofcoalkentucky.org to learn more about the volunteer organization that's doing whatever it can to support our great state of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Shout out to Friends of Cole, proud presenting sponsors of the KSR Football Podcast. Like it, we went to Georgia.
We did.
I let myself get my hopes up there in the second quarter because
I saw your Twitter video before the game when we were driving in separate cars, but I saw the video when we got there and I was like, oh, Roush is doing it to himself.
It is not even necessarily before the game. I mean, Kentucky went down 14-0, Van, and Luck is just like, it's over. And I knew it was over, and it was over, but then it wasn't over. And I was just like, it's right. You do the thing. And they didn't do the thing. They couldn't. They just went 3 and out after you got that pick, and then 3 and out and didn't play complimentary football. It was just so frustrating because Georgia actually gave him a chance despite that strong start. They gave him a chance, and the Cats couldn't take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, and that's the toughest part about it is that I'm going to just be honest. We had no chance of winning it. Mm-hmm. But obviously style matters. And to go potentially 14-14 early in the second quarter would have been huge. Even if it ended up being 35-14, right? But at least you gave the fans that were watching, the few that was watching, a chance to actually believe. Mm-hmm. And the game changed a little bit if we go tied 14-14. It changed a little bit. Georgia changed a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, and if nothing else, it would have woke up that stadium because, like, there's a lot of talk about stadium atmosphere. That's been a big talking point around here. Sanford Stadium was asleep, right? Like there was nothing going on there. Kentucky could have at least woke them up, and they did on that third down. And I thought Cutter made a great throw. Fred Ferrier just catch the football.
Yeah, it was as dead as I've seen a stadium since I've started doing this job for an SEC game. Very little buzz in that place for the game. Nick, to me, like to Van's point, there are certain things this Kentucky team has to do well to be really competitive and give themselves a chance to win. So, like, you've got to be able to execute in certain situations. So, like, you get a pick down 14-7, you can't go 3 and out.
Yeah.
You just can't. Especially, defense was an issue, but the defense played like 26 snaps in the first quarter. Can't really afford to go 3 and out there after your offense has had 7 snaps, or I believe eight or 9 snaps in their first 2 drives. Like, you need to get a first down or at least play field position a little bit. And I thought in the game, like, Georgia did the complimentary football thing to get up 21-7. They flipped the field with a great punt. They got the 3 and out. They got the short field for their offense to take the lead and kind of really that felt over when it got 14-0, but it really felt over when they got up 21-7. Those are the situations and areas Kentucky has to be good at, and that's kind of who they want to be.
But they're not.
They're not good at that stuff right now. So It's like, what are we doing here? Like, what is the path for this football team?
I just to make an analogy that feels like I'm not the biggest Cincinnati Reds fan, but I was ready. Like, they did the thing. They got into the playoffs, and I'm like, all right, here's their opportunity. And I'm watching that second playoff game, and they get the bases loaded with no outs. I didn't watch every single game, but I knew how that story was going to end. I knew There wasn't a chance in hell that they were going to get a hit and drive in any runs. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen, and it did happen. It went, force out at home, strikeout, ground out.
Something
Just
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like they never should have changed. But I let myself believe that they could do it. Look, we all knew that they were going 3 and out after that pick. Like there was that was going to happen. Like we should know. Our brains should tell us that was going to happen. But I still, like, for a second was like, oh my gosh, it's going to do it. And I think it's really hard right now with this team because, like, Van, I think we'll spend some time talking about it. But like, there was some little stuff in there that's like, okay, all right, like this is some positives, but we're just back at doing the same old Kentucky football crap, and that's the part that it hurts being a fan because
you're watching the same movie.
Yeah, exactly. Same movie, same story, different day.
Well, it's different characters though. At least the character development is different. You know, the path to the result is different. Look, it's crazy. Adam just brought up something that, when you think about it, is crazy. Georgia punts once. It's a 50-plus yard punt.
It's beautiful.
It hit the 1 yard line and bounced 9 degrees. Like, come on, man.
It's awesome.
Like, just think about it. Because the stem was changing a little bit. If that ball goes in the end zone and we get the ball on the 20, that changes everything too. Because we get the ball on the 1 yard line, what can you don't trust the quarterback right now because he's young. So what you going to do? Then they punt it, and Georgia scores. Like, if that ball is on the 20, what Georgia probably doesn't score.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least the score is 28-14.
And you saw it coming. As soon as that punt happened, it was like, all right, well, this is – I'm at least glad that they did learn their lessons from South Carolina. Just don't do anything stupid here. I mean, you're in a tough spot. Don't try to, like, throw it with Cutter against, like, a cover 0 or something and roll the dice, right? Like, at least they just ran the ball 3 times, punted it back. But it –
No, I think they managed the situation with Cutter correctly. They gave him a lot of easy throws earlier in the game.
mm-hmm.
Got the ball out of his hands. They chased the completions, I thought, to just give him some confidence. And then that allowed him, I think, to have some success when they were drop back heavy in the second half. And it wasn't a disaster when they went drop back heavy with him in the second half. I thought that was really important. You had to give him some confidence and build a foundation from the mental aspect of the game. So I think there was some groaning about them throwing it short all the time early in the game, but for me, they had to get the ball out of his hands fast and try to give him some confidence moving forward after what happened last week. And even what happened, I think, in the Louisville start dating back to last year. So I think that was a good step forward. And I like how they handled him. They gave him, he hits the play action touchdown pass to Caddis. They took some swings later in the game, but got the ball out in the perimeter pretty quickly. And then when he got going in the second half, I think he saw some more of his potential.
What did you like? Was there anything in there, Van, that you saw from Cutter that was like, okay, this is something to really build on moving forward?
Well, I mean, we got the ball to Seth a little bit more. That was nice. That was his calling card, according to what I heard. Come in here, he's a great pass receiver running back. So we saw that a little bit. The concern I have is his reliance on a tight end, and that's what he looks for. There are instances where there's other guys that are available that he's not seeing for some reason. That's the next level. I still don't think he's comfortable in the system yet. Is he better? Yes. He's definitely improved from last week. The unfortunate part about it is he doesn't have time to improve on his own. We are in a situation where we're in dire straits right here. He's got to improve quickly. If this was any other year, it'll be great. Oh, yeah, I can see the incremental improvement. He's got to tick it up 2 or 3 for us to get in a situation where he's probably not facing another offensive coordinator, right? because the way we're going right now, the system is gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. And he needs to show improvement to a point where this offense is clicking better than where it is now.
Yeah, and that's to
the tight end stuff, Van, I think it's very much a trust issue with some of these guys. Like,
well,
a lot of these new receivers haven't been here very long. They're not getting open. I think for Cutter, or any quarterback, I think you go to what you know. So obviously he's played with Caddis, Willie Rodriguez in the past. And then, like, the fact that he was looking for Cameron Miller wasn't a surprise to me because that's who he's been throwing to all summer and then fall camp, in practice, that. So I wasn't surprised if that happened. So maybe, you get some guys in there that he's maybe worked with a little bit more. So I think you could see that moving forward, definitely. But the disaster scenario, I think, was in play. You had to have him take it, even if it was incremental, a step forward after kind of what happened last week. So that was good to see, and that they were able to somewhat effectively move the football with no run game. Like when McGowan went out, the run game was non-existent. They didn't have it. And so they had to ask Cutter to drop back 45 times against that defense in like 65 snaps, which is a lot. And they only had one turnover, and they had some moderate success moving the football. So that's at least something I think to build off of here as the season progresses.
So was Seth hurt? What is Seth's injury?
They didn't say, but it sounded like it was something he'd previously been dealing with, maybe a shoulder or something, and then re-aggravates it. You're getting killed.
He's been limited in practice too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's nursing something. We just don't know what it is.
Well, that's interesting because he's not on the injury report.
That's interesting. Yeah. I want before we move on, I do just want to hit that over the head a little bit more. Like, dude, just play the freshman. Just play him at receiver. I don't like. What are these guys going to do for you? It's their last year for pretty much all of them. They haven't done anything. You gave them 5 games? Like, tough titty. Time to move on, right? Like, I don't. Like,
yeah, say those exact words. Walk into the facility, tell them tough titty, and move on.
I mean, like, dude, we paid you guys a lot of money, and you ain't doing it, right? Like, it's not cutting it. Now,
yeah, I think it's
Kendrick the
exception,
exception,
but yeah.
But you gave him 5 games of rope. This year has turned into a evaluation year. We mentioned a rapid reaction. Apologies for whatever beeping loud sound that cut in there, but
it was Kirby Smart's whistle. He was blowing it in the facility over
his
there.
Dog whistle, trying to find Uga.
That they didn't win by more.
Yeah, but really, what this comes down to now is what can you salvage from the sinking ship for next year, regardless of who on the coaching staff is there or not. Like, you got to find out stuff. There's a lot of pressure on Cutter Boley to be the guy moving forward. So put him in the best position to succeed. And that's throwing the guys that he trusts and he'll go to. I mean, when we went to that open practice, Luckett, how many balls did Quisenberry catch? Like,
a ton, yeah.
16. I mean, like, just Cutter would throw it up and he'd go get it. And we saw Cam Miller throw it up and go get it. And I think that's the thing that's irritated me the most about the guys who've been starting at receiver. And Kendrick Hall is the kind of exception. But all the other ones, like, I don't see the fight that I saw from Cam Miller when it's to go up and catch a football. You see it from the tight ends. You saw it from Miller. I don't see it from the other guys. Where, like, they're just letting themselves get pushed around downfield on these go balls. Or if it's a jump ball in the air, like, it's like you're almost just, like, holding that L. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard on them because they're just not that talented. But, like, I've seen enough. Right. I knew before that it wasn't going to be great, and it's not. So, like, let's move on. Let's give the other guys a shot, because you need to know if you're going to, how much, like, what are you going to have to get in the portal? What are you going to have to get? Like, I know they got like 4 or 5 high school commits. Who knows what the hell that'll look like? But, like, you need to know one way or another if these guys can be players. Let them drink from that fire hose, and just, it's guys that Cutter trusts. And clearly, like you saw on that first 3rd down, Georgia goes man. Or no, sorry, it was a first down play. It was that 3-and-out series. It's first down play. They go play action like sticks. Like everybody just stops and turns around the sticks. It's man. He recognizes it late. He's not going to try to throw one of those guys open in man, which is kind of what you have to do on that instance. And I think it's just because he doesn't trust his guys. So put guys in there that he's more comfortable with. Give him a shot. What's the worst that could happen? You get more bad wide receiver play, more drops on third down. Okay, so be it.
Wow, that's interesting because this is when you say that it harkens me to this. It is interesting. We are saying right now, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. What do we have at this point in the season at record? The record at this point in the season, I only have us at 3-2. We're 2-3, and I understand it's like for me, the angst is more because the South Carolina game carrying over to this Georgia game more than this Georgia game. I would say this for the people who look at other teams and like, why can't we do this? Florida was just 1-3, and they beat Texas at home. Right? Let's just say, I'm not saying it's happening. But let's just say Texas roll into Commonwealth in a week, and we somehow beat Texas, and we're 3-3. But let's just say you say, okay, you know what? Screw it. Let's just throw in all the young guys and see what we have left. I'm going to say this. As a guy who's a senior, I would be highly upset if that's the path we're going. I'm going to say that senior class will start to rebel if you just, I don't want to say quit, but we're just going to give up right now. I'm not saying you can't rotate some guys in, but I'm going to say this. If guys are not playing right now, there's a reason. As you have said, Nick, this wide receiver group isn't very good.
Yeah.
So if you're not showing in practice, you're not playing for a reason.
Well, and that's what Stoops said before the game, and then Cam Miller gets in and almost leads the team in receiving yards. Has 2 toe touch, and that's really what it's really just that one position. And I
really don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. How many times have you seen guys, Brock Vandegrift, in garbage time, show out, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to say it's garbage time because I don't want to minimize his athletic ability because that catch showed his talent. That out route, high ball, perfect throw, went up and got it. I just pump a little brakes. Who was the one say don't put the yellow jacket on yet, right? Let's see if he can do it against in the second quarter when teams are not like, all right, guys, let's pull off the horses. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
It's easier said than done. I think this is why it's important to look at snap counts to see who's getting opportunities. Like J.J. Hester didn't play last week against South Carolina. Then he shows up and he gets 20-something snaps this week. Harley Gilmore has been mostly 30 snaps. He was under 20 against South Carolina, and then he's over 30 this week. So, they are, I think, from that aspect, if you look at it that way, are trying some different things. But it's, to Van's point, in that locker room, they're still trying, a lot of the fan, there's a lot of noise in the fan base, it's wouldn't change, and everyone's kind of we're at the point where it's almost like everyone's kind of waiting to see what happens when we get to the end of the year and talking about what will happen. But in that facility, they still have to play games, and they're still trying to win.
7 games. We're not even halfway through.
And they're still trying to win. So managing that locker room and keep everyone together so they can go try to win games, you have to do that. So, to Van's point, you have to keep the whole team, engaged. And that's something that I think they didn't do last year. And that's why it got so ugly in part towards the end of the year in 24. So it's an interesting – we're going to find out, if they really – they said they fixed the culture, but we'll find out here over these next, I would say, month, whether they did or not. Because now, to Van's point, they are probably a game behind where they needed to be. But that can snowball on you, even if it's just a game quickly. Because, they just need to they really need something good to happen. You feel like if something good doesn't happen, it could really, I think, unravel on them. And then the first, and then I go back to the South Carolina game. That's, to me, was maybe the most alarming. It's because that's a huge game. You knew it was a huge game.
Yep.
You had to have it.
Yep.
And you go out there and you started in the second quarter. You just kind of, and it was really just one quarter. One quarter, you just kind of just totally lost it. And then it felt like, you kind of lost the season because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have to be 3-1. They have to be 3-1 to win 6 or 7 games. Like, if you're not 3-1, 6 is pretty much off the table. I mean, you really look at it. And now if you put a shocker in there, right? Can we shock some team? Sure. But to be realistic, to win 6 games, you had to go 3-1. Because these next 3 games are tough. Well, now the next 2 games are tough. And realistically, you're not winning any of those games. So you had to stack up the first 4. And losing that Ole Miss and South Carolina game sets you back. If you win one of those, I don't think people are still upset, but not as upset that they are now. And I wish they would have pulled off one of those other games. So the temperature in Lexington would be a good fall, balmy weather. Right now, it's like middle of summer.
Mm-hmm. If you can't tell, I'm as frustrated as any because it does stink. It sucks, and I just want to see better football, Drew. Drew, how are you, buddy?
How's it going?
I want to see some okay football, and it's not really okay. Like, it's not Belichick bad, but it's not good. So, I'm a little frustrated. There were a lot of bad things that happened on Saturday. Was there any one of the bad things that happened that just kind of made you laugh a little? Like,
oh, no, I'm not. I'm not really in a laughing mood around Kentucky football right now. But like one of the bad moments that had me yelling words we can't say on YouTube, and maybe you all have already talked about this, but was when Cutter was trying to get the ball snapped, and then he and I guess Jagger yelling at each other right before they reviewed and turned the fumble over. That was just another one of those moments where I feel like Kentucky football has something every week where they don't – sure, teams lose every Saturday, but there's always some kind of comedy of errors involved with the Kentucky loss. So that stood out to me. Not getting the and that's tricky. You don't know the reviews coming. Maybe not everybody's on the same page, but just Cutter yelling, snap the damn ball on TV, a red shirt freshman. That felt like a Kentucky football moment that lingered a little bit.
And I really nothing illustrates just where I am and really where this program is. More so than anything, which we got to talk about the bad defense a little bit later on. It's embarrassing. But offensively, Cutter Boley puts together the best 2-minute drive I've seen in maybe 3 years. I can't pinpoint an exact competent 2-minute drive, but it feels like an eternity ago. I think Leary might have had one where they kicked a field goal, but that's just guessing. There's no way to confirm or not. But they suck in all of those situations, and they finally were awesome. They hadn't done anything the entire game. The drive chart was like 3 plays, 4 plays. They had the 4-play touchdown drive, but they hadn't done anything offensively. And it's 2:45. They get the ball back with 2 timeouts, and they start moving. They're grooving. And then it's a 3rd and 1, and you do the smart thing, and you call the play to get the first down and just keep the drive alive. But they chewed up 20 seconds off the clock. And, Drew, do you know why they chewed up 20 seconds off the clock?
It looked like a lot of confusion.
Well, because the play they called is a play that they can only run to one side of the field. It's like, this is the only way the play goes, so they weren't lined up. Well, if you realize that they're on the wrong side of the field, immediately burn the timeout. You were going to have to do it anyway. Instead, you wasted 20 seconds and your timeout. Like, you can't do both. Like, I know it ultimately shanked the field goal, but if you save those 20 seconds, 2 more shots to the end zone, at least.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like
I like that Kentucky's had 2 ABC games. That's pretty cool, being on national TV. Both times it goes to halftime with the announcers literally laughing and mocking Kentucky's operation. In both of our big nationally televised games, they've gone to the studio where the people waiting to do the halftime show are giggling at Kentucky's operation. That's happened twice now in 2 SEC games this season.
I look at they had a 20-play drive. Didn't score. That's kind of that's been the Bush experience in a nutshell. Like that is just, it's just like, man, it's a game where you sputter and to get going. You finally get something. You get a few penalties to extend drives. You get some fourth down conversions. Like your team's out there fighting, scratching and clawing, and you can't finish the thing. It's just like, man. It just feels, man, when that happens, it just feels like I go, man, it feels like it's just not working at all.
That was a catch, by the way. That was a catch.
You had 2 12-plus play drives that didn't score. You missed the field goal, and then you had the turnover on downs. It's just like, geez.
Luckett thinks it wasn't a catch.
It was a catch.
Well, what the end zone play? The Georgia pick?
The Willie.
No, you would have had it at the 7 with 15 seconds. And if you hadn't blown the other 20 seconds, you have it at the 7 with 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Or maybe even closer to a minute, whatever the math is.
Here's the thing about that drive. And I understand the confusion. Here's the thing. And this is where people are gonna be pissed off about it. As a coach, you also got to play if we give the ball back to them, right? So the 20-second runoff to me was, okay, the play's not acting right. Let's run a little bit of time off. So if we screw up, we're not going to give Georgia time on the clock. Even with all that said, we get to the 7-yard line. And if you watch the play, I mean, it's a chance for a touchdown. They run a smash route to the field, which is the first read, all right? Mm-hmm. And they played 3-on-2. So they actually zoned up. I think I know what Cutter thinking. They play man. You watch any Georgia film, in overtime or in goal line situation, they're bringing pressure. That's Kirby's DNA. So you're thinking they're going to be a man. When you look over there and you see the corner slouch off, that play is done. Harley Gilmore runs a slant and go. He runs a sluggo. It's wide open. If he goes boom and looks, it's 7. The weird part about it is, even with everybody says the dysfunction, they had an opportunity for 7 right there.
Yeah.
If he goes 7, we're not talking about it now. See, that's the thing about, as you say, Kentucky. We always find a reason, we always find a way to have us talk about the play before the play. But that situation, we ran the perfect route concept. Smash route, sluggo, 6. An experienced quarterback goes, ooh, they got me. Where's my second guy? He doesn't know where his second guy is. The majority of the time, he doesn't know where his second progression is. If he knew, it's almost like when Stockton threw the no-look pass on Rayner. It's like, boom, boom. It's automatic for a quarterback. And he needs more time, he needs more experience. But that is a situation where all the dysfunction that people are talking about, we wouldn't be talking about it if he throws that ball to Harley Gilmore.
It would have been the one shining light, because that's kind of what we're looking for, right? You're looking for like one thing from these games, because if we had to poll Big Blue Nation, I think the overwhelming majority would not expect this team to win another game. People are down bad, at least another game over a decent opponent. Yeah. So can you get anything that is like, oh, I see it here? And that's the worst part, is that you saw it for almost all of that drive, but then you have a mistake. And hell, I would have even been happy with the field goal, but then it's like, oh, so that was the Cowie we were worried about.
Yeah. To Van's point,
you also have something to chew on, right? Oh, go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry, Adam.
To Van's point, I think they get caught up a little bit in between in the 2-minute stuff, because Stoops doesn't want to give them the ball back. they know they're not really good at this. So that I think they play that first, and then sometimes they get caught like being too aggressive. And he's been burned in the past for maybe getting aggressive. Like I go back to the Tennessee game, and both 21 and 23, they kind of lost both those games because of what happened, 2-minute defense.
No,
so
no way.
They just get caught. They just get caught kind of they get caught in no man's land in a lot of these situations to me, and that ends up burning them. I think for them that worked out almost perfect if the guy just makes the field goal. But yeah, I mean they're not good at it.
And I just like you could have said any game, and I would have been like, yeah, of course they lost because of the 2-minute offense and defense like that. And that's the part where there's the fatigue, where the comments are blowing up, and it's just the exhaustion. And
yeah,
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
You know what you should get? Some Brunt workwear. Brunt work gear, work Brunt wear, Brunt workwear, bruntworkwear.com/KSR is where you can get $10 off. They've got the best gear over at Brunt. Don't sacrifice comfort for durability. You get both when you're rocking the Marin or the Omen. The Omen, they're the slip-on boots. The Marin, they're these kind. See, I like to lace them up, right? I feel like kind of a badass when I'm walking around in these, stomping around. Very comfortable. Didn't have to waste any time breaking them in. They felt great. Waterproof, steel toe. They got it all to where you can be comfortable while you work or while you're just walking around the rain. It's a rainy day outside. I'm going to be rocking my Brunt workwear. And here's the other part too. It's not just boots. The boots are awesome, but they've got a full range of high-performance gear that's built for tough jobs. From heavy-duty work pants to weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any situation, especially on a rainy day like today, especially when it's going to start getting colder. Probably still got to work outside. Make sure you're ready to rock and roll with Brunt workwear. And for a limited time, our listeners are going to get $10 off at Brunt when you use the code KSR at checkout. Don't cut corners, and neither does Brunt. So visit bruntworkwear.com/KSR to make your work day a better day with Brunt. All right. That's the part where I feel bad about our – I don't know if I feel bad, but like everybody's talking about the offense when the defense has stunk and has been performed well below expectations. Van, what the hell's going on? I thought they told me the secondary was supposed to be a strength. I believe them, and now they can't tackle. Like they don't tackle. They get burnt. Like that sucked. So what the hell's going on?
Well, obviously no one listened to me when I said the secondary wasn't a strength of the defense preseason. It is. I will say this: there was something interesting about this game, and I wish I was in Lexington so I could have asked this question post game. The amount of stunts and slants that we did in the first half of this game was eye-opening. And I don't know why we did that. I don't know if when you get these bye weeks, you start getting into the weeds of tendencies. And sometimes you can outsmart yourself. Sometimes the opponent self-scouts themselves and goes against it. There were some things that we did that was different than what we normally do. And the thing about it is when you do it, you get big plays out of it, but then you also give up big plays. And that was the first thing interesting that got me. And the second thing is it's the normal thing is we don't play to our leverage and tackling. I want people to understand this. This is not Harry Clay against Tate's Creek, where there's a good player on the field that can tackle anyone, even in space. When you're on this level, making a one-on-one tackle is virtually impossible unless you play your leverage. And we have guys, I'm sorry, I know Gunnar Stockton was one of the best dual threat quarterbacks, but that touchdown, that was the most embarrassing one. The reason why is because we had two guys there that should have pinched him and would have made a tackle. But no disrespect, because I understand in the moment you think, I got to make this tackle by myself. I think it was Olds. If Olds play outside leverage like he's supposed to, which he was at, and maintain it, that is a tackle. And now it's 3rd and goal. Those are the kind of things that, as experienced players, you can't make that mistake over and over again. You got to know where your help is. If you miss that tackle, you miss the tackle inside. You can't miss the tackle outside. There is a such thing as a good missed tackle. There is. And our guys are trying to, I think it's a point in the season where defensively, I've been there, where guys are trying to do too much because they feel like the offense can't do it. So now you start to do things that you are not coached to do. And that is a simple, you got a guy coming inside. Just pinch him, and we literally see another down.
Looks like a poorly coached team.
And I also think they know they have some limitations, so maybe they're trying to be more risky in some of the stunt movement and all of that.
I love, Drew, that basically the whole offseason was them telling us that continuity of the coaching. The coaching's good. We just need the new players. And then the players, some of it is you have to do what you're told, but if you're coached well, you do it more consistently. And even a guy like Quay Scott, great athlete, he's making some mistakes in his first year, especially when it comes to leverage, right? He's doing the bad angles, and I expect that from his position. Jordan Lovett getting beat on the angle route, dude. How many years of football have you played in the Southeastern Conference? How have you not? What? That.
A lot of this we knew was going to happen, but it doesn't make it any better now that it's happened. This is kind of exactly what I expected. Even some names, one you just said, they were question marks coming in. I had Kentucky losing to Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Georgia in my predictions. It's all exactly what I thought it would be, and I think a lot of people are that way. But now that it's right here in front of us, why is it still so frustrating, even though we've had months of knowing this is exactly where we would be? We all knew it would be like this, and we'd get to October, and that would suck. And at least in my case, I predicted if you went on the back end, if they could hold on to just get there. But everything is exactly as we expected. The end of the first half is nothing new. We've seen that movie so many times, but it's still maddening that it's gone exactly to script so far.
And there are people on KS board. Join now, promo code UK1. Get you 2 months for $1.
Shout out.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there right now too, so you need to be over there. But there's some people for a while who've been why is Frank Buffano still have keys to that facility? I'm surprised that more aren't talking about Mike Stoops, but and it's the same thing that goes with the tight ends. Have you seen them improve from when they started playing to versus now? Alex Safari, yes, pretty decent, not great, but it's just you needed these guys to take steps forward. The plan was for the coaches to get them to take a step forward, and they haven't. And it's not entirely on them. There's some depth issues at corner where you got Waller getting hurt, but it's just the defense had to be better to give yourself a chance, and it's worse. It is significantly worse, and they aren't getting enough heat for it, and they should, because it's back to mid. It's back to very, very mid, because
their plan just isn't working. We can call it what it was, but their preseason plan didn't work, so they're in a hole. Now they got to figure out how they're going to get out of it. But
hey, got a week to take a look at it, though.
Yeah, so their plan, how they wanted to fix this, it's not worked, right? And a lot of plans have gotten blown up. Not only on defense, Calzada couldn't start for more than 2 games. You had to just pretty much your offensive plan just had to throw it out the trash after 2 games.
That's crazy to say out loud.
So,
No, that's it. Defensively, I would say this. Defensively, the front has played well.
Yes.
We all knew that could those two linebackers improve enough to be a presence in the run game? And for them, it's not consistent enough. And for me, the two safeties are yin and yang. You got one guy who tries to do everything right all the time, which you can't do as a player. Eventually, you got to be a playmaker. Then you got one guy who tries to be a playmaker too much without doing the right thing some of the times. You can't have that. It's just like when you had Trevor Wallace and what was the linebacker next to him? It wasn't D-Jack. Trevor Wallace was a wild card, but you had D-Jack that was the solid guy. You can match them two together. We have two safeties that it can cause problems in this conference. And if you wipe out, and this is one thing I hate saying because you can't do it. If you wipe out the 3 picks that they have, it's been underwhelming performances.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But they did have the 3 picks. And it was funny, though, because I asked Lovett after the game. I was like, so what'd you see on that pick? And he's like, it was really just a bad play by the quarterback. And I'm like, well, at least you were honest, because he threw it right at you.
Yeah, he did a good job, though, high point in the football. I will give him credit. That was an athletic interception.
I'm also going to say that's an Ed Reed type play. I'm not sure he did it on his own. I think he was coached that way. Pre-snap, I felt like, oh, my God, you just gave the coverage away. He started rolling deep middle. Pre-snap. Turn the shoulder, rolling deep middle. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. Well, he did it on purpose so the quarterback can read it, and he came back. So I'm going to give him kudos on that. I'm not sure he did it on his own. But I'm going to give him kudos on that because he definitely fooled Stockton. He fooled me.
That doesn't happen often. Van getting fooled. That doesn't happen often. But
Georgia had just 50 other plays.
Georgia had 425 yards of offense. Gunnar Stockton completed 65% of his passes.
And ultimately on defense, Nick, they want to play zone heavy, keep everything in front, and not give up explosive plays. Well, it doesn't matter if you can't tackle because then they're turning all these 8. Like they threw the damn hitch for 7 yards and made it a 25-yard gain in the red zone. It's like that just defeats the purpose of how you want to play defense, right? Mm-hmm. They hit a running back angle route on 3rd and 15 in the red zone for a touchdown. Like that goes against everything you want to do. I'm just like, we're better off. Like, what are we doing? Cover 0 every snap if you're going to do that. Like, what are we,
What makes it worse? He didn't get touched.
Yeah. Like, what's going on?
In zone coverage, no one even Dylan was still a yard away from him. Like, no one let a finger on a guy in zone coverage. It's crazy.
The whole basis, the backbone of what they want to do, they want you to throw these routes. They want you to dump it off to the running back. They want you to throw the short curl in the hook. And then then you want to tackle them. Like, that's the whole point of this. And it's just like, you cannot play this style of football if you're a bad tackling team. You just can't. Like, you're better off, like, just blitzing all the time. Because then you can then you can get in the 3rd and long and you can win.
Oh, 3rd and Grantham, So
it's infuriating watching them because it's like, you cannot play like this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, how does this keep? And I know there's a lot of new pieces, but the back 7 pieces aren't new, really. Yeah. All these guys have played together for a couple years now. This should not be happening, and it keeps happening.
Guess how many yards attempt the Kentucky defense is giving up per pass?
12.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
Pull up the yak numbers.
Oh, I don't have those in front of me, but it's 8.3, and they're one of only 2 teams in the SEC who is giving up more than 8 yards per catch. The other team fired their defensive coordinator and their head coach, and that's Arkansas. So Kentucky's dead last in the SEC in pass defense when it comes to yards per attempt, which, we might as well get to it. It is people talking about firing coaches. That was what everybody was talking about last night on the internet. And I saw that these sources said that Bush Hamden was going to get fired by Tuesday from a local radio station. And, one, on Tuesday? Like, why? That's a weird thing to say. That never happens. And then two, this is another thing to keep in mind when people are breaking things. Like, radio stations and TV reporters don't really break things. Like, it's just not like Matt's an exception, obviously, because it's like, everything else and the radio show. But like, for the most part, those aren't your newsbreakers, right? It's your writers. And it's usually, I think Big Blue Bud might be the one fun, like, oh, wow, Buddy's mixing it up now. Like, he's like the fun internet guy that gets a scoop right every once in a while. I think he's done a couple right. But for the most part, like Kentucky Hoops IG, I'm sorry, you can't believe a thing that account says. Just because he makes good graphics doesn't mean you can believe what they say. So, I see this and I'm like, all right, let me just make sure that it's not true. And it was like, no, not true at all. Move along. But I think, like, and this goes back to what Cutler said on Friday about what we talked about in November and just all that stuff. This is going to be happening a lot, Luckett, over the next 3 months, where so-and-so is going to hear from Johnny's little brother about what's happening. And it's just like, just prepare because there's going to be a lot of noise out there. We're going to do our best to make sure that you don't fall for the bad noise, but it's going to be happening. And it's going to be happening often.
Yeah. It's what's real and what's not, who to believe and who not to believe. And so it's sources season, Nick. So we're just gonna have to live this life here for a couple months. So buckle in.
So hear the one about Doug Peterson in Lexington yet?
Oh no, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, horse farms. We're at horse farms.
Well, Doug was spotted in town. He could have been doing anything.
It was probably for the horses.
Yeah, but it's that season though, and then all these accounts, especially the ones that don't have their actual name and face on it. Yeah. They all want to just get the what do they call it, engagement farming. They just want the likes and the clicks. Mm-hmm. So they'll be quick to fire them off. The false reports yesterday are only the tip of the iceberg of what's to come. Get ready for all especially the anonymous ones, to just start throwing stuff at the wall, because we know the conversation will happen at the end of the year, but everybody wants to be first to get it out there.
And Nick, you're just gonna have to address some of that crap. Like, you're just gonna have to address some of it. So you better get ready.
You got to take a look at it every time it pops up, Nick.
I did enjoy that Stoops basically said in his response to Cutler's pause-filled report that it also just looks, it's different if you hear it on the radio. It's so funny when you see his face while he's doing it, and he's just like his face is not taking it seriously. He's just like, met with athletics director Mitch Barnhart.
I got to tell you, I listen to Cutler's show. I stay in touch with Cutler. He texts like that. He's texted me a couple of times in the last few days. He literally puts long pauses in his text, and you read it that way.
Yeah, it's great. And here's the thing too. I love the Cut Man, right? Like, he's hilarious. It cracks me up. But I was amused by it. Were you surprised by the nature of Stoops' response to that question on Saturday, Mr. Franklin?
I'm surprised he went with. He said 100%, right?
No,
like 100% zero chance,
0 chance. But I mean, he committed to an actual.
Yeah.
It was I'm surprised he went full commitment in that statement, because we all know something could pop up in a month, and then he could walk away. So I was surprised he was as firm as he was in saying it. But I guess if you want to shut everybody up, that's kind of what you have to do.
I will say that his public sentiment shares what he tells people privately. So I don't like that. That's why when a lot of people get in this conversations about Stoops long term, it's like, man, that guy is like, he's dug in and he's got his contract where he's getting his money. So like something has to happen and I don't know what. So that's why, like, why don't you just say you want him gone, right? Like, why don't you do? And I'm like, because I know what the reality of the situation is, and we're stuck in the mud right now, and we don't have 4-wheel drive. So you got to just know what you're in, be there where your feet are, control what you can control, and the thing that they can control, and that's why I would have felt silly to get rid of Bush too, is like, hey, get Cutter Boley playing as well as possible, because that's the thing that makes it hard for me, Van, is like it's like either pretty damn good or just like cataclysmic. So like, can we get him to a point where there's a higher floor than what we've seen before? Because that's the part that's fascinating. I know we've got another week before we get to it about that Texas game. Is like, he played well against them last year. So like, if you get the good version, like, you know, maybe there is a chance against this team. But if you bottom out, like, can we get him in a spot to where the floor is higher and you can trust him more moving forward? You don't need some sort of portal backup plan or whatever your plan has to be for the following season.
Yeah, he needs game reps. Like you guys were saying in fall camp, he was dotting the ball to Quisenberry, dotting the ball to Cam. You know what? I had 20 picks in practice too. Practice is a different animal. He needs game reps. And I think the more comfortable he feels, we need to pare down the playbook even more, probably, which is hard because we got to scheme guys open. So now I'm talking stupid. Someone banged me upside the head because I just said something. Most idiotic thing about paring down the offense when you got to scheme guys open. So scratch that.
That goes against one another.
Yeah, that goes against, you got to scheme guys open. The only way you can scheme guys open is by fooling people with motions and shifts. So scratch that. Cutter's got to find his 10 best plays in every situation. First and 10. One of my favorite 5 to 10 plays. On and on and on. And we got to run them. I don't care what happens. We just got to run them. Let them get comfortable in those 30 plays, 35 plays, and just run them out of different formations or whatever. Whatever you got to do, find something that he sees, because his vision is kind of cloudy sometimes. Find 30 plays that are clear visions for him. So when he gets to 3rd and 5, he don't even have to hear it. I already know we're going to call. That's my favorite play. We're going to call it. He's got to get to that level right now. And if he gets to that level, his floor will rise. Because right now, I just don't think he's comfortable. And once you get comfortable as a quarterback, those are times where you throw that ball that Stockton threw for a pick. He was comfortable in the system. Oh, I know I'm going to throw it. Whatever happens, happens. He's got to get to that level.
There's a saying that I like to use quite often as a Kentucky football fan. Somebody always has it worse. That's what's beautiful about college football. Somebody always has it worse. And you may think, Roush, what are you talking about? Nobody's got it worse than us. No. Drew, remember, you predicted this. You knew that this was going to be here. Were Penn State fans predicting a loss to UCLA? I thought they were going to win the national championship this year. They were preseason number 2.
Whoops.
That was a college football rules kind of game. We're like, the new Hiles gets in. He's younger than us, right? Like, he looked like a child out there calling those plays.
That was what makes it look even better. That this like blonde-haired sunshine kid.
He's 33 years old, Nick.
Yeah, he's younger than me. Like,
he didn't know how to like use his headset. He was over there fidgeting with it. Just perfect.
It was. Oh, and then they carry him off, and like, it's almost like a Rudy because like his hair is flying everywhere. You got this little kid, basically kind of like a Make-A-Wish kid situation, right? Where they're gonna let him call the plays, and then I'll be damned if Rick Neuheisel isn't in the studio like, oh, we beat Penn State like that. That's insane. They had not had a lead. UCLA had not led in a football game this year. New Mexico went on that same field and bodied them, beat them up and down for 4 quarters, and big, mighty Penn State comes to town and gets co-cocked. If you watch Luckett now in the Pigskin preview, I tried to bet with my heart with these coast-to-coast trips. That was my angle last week. We went 1-1. Cal just went up 21-7 and lost 42-21. That was brutal. But, in Maryland also blew a 20-0 lead, but they still covered. I don't know how many people were predicting that Penn State would fly over the Rockies and the same curse would hit them, because it hit them like a ton of bricks. And now I don't have the record in front of me. If you give me 1 second, but the preseason number 1 and 2 teams. Where did it go? Oh, I lost it. But it was like the preseason 1, 2, and 5 teams are all cooked. Texas is unranked. Penn State's unranked. Like, the sky is falling, and it's crazy how quickly that can happen in this sport.
Yeah, this year someone asked me recently, like, who I think would win the Heisman right now, and just going through it in my head, it is a completely different list than what it was in the preseason. Like, been so many surprises this year for a sport that's usually full of them. I feel like it's already been wacky, just through the first month and a few days here.
Which, yeah, shout out to Texas.
Yeah, who had Texas not being good?
What's crazy is that, like, Arch had a couple, like, good throws in there, but there's also just the, like, it bottoms out in a hurry.
Their O-line's an issue.
Yeah, which isn't good going up against R. Mason Thomas. Like,
Is anyone dreaming dreams about the Kentucky-Texas game, or do I just need to shut up and be miserable with everyone else?
I mean, Texas.
Drew, did I not say it a couple weeks ago? Did you not remember my hot take a couple weeks ago?
That's right.
There's the reason. Now, we didn't beat South Carolina, so it saves my butt. But
play both sides.
But dude, Texas has not looked Texas like since the start of the season. This is not just a one-off.
Yeah.
They
can't run the ball either. They should be able to run the ball.
Was it Sam Houston State that gave them problems, or was it the game before that, non-conference?
It was the game before that. It was UTEP, I think.
UTEP. I knew it was one of those Texas schools. Dude, this is consistent. They are in a bind, and I'm not saying that we beat them, but I know one thing: they went to the swamp and had problems early. I'm not saying to get excited about it, but I think we have a chance. It's not a 60% chance, but I think we got 25 to 30% chance to win that game.
Well, at least Mark Stoops is good out of a bye. So I always know they're going to be ready to roll out of the bye. It was the preseason number 1, 2, and 4 teams. Texas, Penn State, and Clemson are 8-7 after week 6.
Woo!
And boy, Clemson. Here's the other one too. Like, I think we all knew there was a chance that the Belichick thing would be bad, but imagine being a North Carolina fan and you dream the big dreams, and I mean they look like a JV team out there. Like, Van, you're rebuilding, right? You said it's a little tough right now. The past were like Clemson's down, or North Carolina's down, I think 35-7 in the second quarter. And they have a guy just running free with nobody on him down the sideline. And the quarterback just throws it like 7 yards out of bounds. It's not even close. He just throws it in bounds and it's a walk-in touchdown. Like, they are as incompetent as incompetent gets.
So I would say this. This is a good one. As a guy who's been fortunate enough to be coached by great coaches my entire career until I got to the NFL, which is crazy, right? Bill Belichick is the GOAT of coaching, right? Is he not?
Yeah.
So you're going to tell me that guy forgot how to coach when he went to Chapel Hill, or is it a girlfriend? Like, what is it? Can a guy not coach? I mean, guys don't forget how to coach, right? So sometimes, as we say, what we talked about earlier, like why the guys continue doing the same thing? I'm gonna tell you, there's a couple things. One, you have no talent. Two, you have no talent as a backup. You know what's secure as a starter? If when you look over your shoulder, like that guy, you really gonna sub that guy in? So now my level of details and commitment to the craft is a little less because I know the guy behind me has no chance. So there's probably some depth issues at UNC because you cannot tell me Bill Belichick doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, I agree with you to a degree, but he also I would like to just take a stroll through the assistant coaching staff because Bill Belichick might know how to coach, but what about all these other guys that he pulled from the pros?
It's a combination of factors.
Yeah, like is Bob Diaco? Is he a real successful college football experienced coach that knows how to relate to kids? Steve Belichick got 1 year at Washington and was fine, but like Freddie Kitchens is calling plays. Or what the hell was he doing last year? Wasn't he like a tight ends coach for the Jets or something?
He was like a QC at South Carolina for a couple years ago. I'm not sure where he was.
But you know what I mean?
He was on Carolina staff last year, but he wasn't a play caller. North Carolina, that is.
You gotta Garrick McGee. Like it is a who's who of bums that college football journeymen, and then guys from the NFL who don't have any clue what it's like on a week-to-week basis.
It's a portal team, Nick, and most of their additions came in the spring. Spring portal has been proven to be
worse.
Not the place you should be shopping for starters. And I think all of that combined, they're new, right? I think it's college game's different than the NFL game. I don't think they're adjusting very well, and they are a train wreck on the line of scrimmage. And they're playing a style of ball. You can't be a train wreck on the line of scrimmage.
Can't be a train wreck on the line of scrimmage.
Hey, you know what? At least we're not the only train wreck, right? Somebody's always got it worse than you. The Cats, they don't have it great right now. If you got it bad around your house, Mount Kentucky Home Repair, they'll get you right? Whether it's a home project you want to renovate, a space, I don't know, maybe make a breakfast nook. Drew, you strike me as the type that would have a breakfast nook in your house.
I would love one. I don't have one, but I would certainly love one. I would sit at a breakfast nook.
Well, get my old Kentucky Home Repair to get your nook on. Breakfast nook on. Or just
for the nook.
Or just, I don't know, fix stuff. You got something broken. Any sort of home repair or remodel, they will take care of you. They've been serving the Bluegrass region for 2008. And they will get the job done right. The first time, head on over to my old kyhomerepair.com to learn more or give them a call at 859-940-3376. Drew Franklin, your team won a football game. You did it.
What do you mean we did it? We can't even tank. We suck at tanking. We can't do anything right. We're the worst tanking team in the history of tanking.
There's a lot of time left, Drew. I wouldn't freak out about that yet.
We don't. I will say, quite a surprising victory for my Titans. I still believe that we ass. But if any of you all actually watched that fourth quarter by Arizona, that was just a blooper reel. I've never seen anything like that. Thank you, I guess. But that was insane how they just could not put a game away.
I need the old Boomer back, like Chris Berman and TJ, because they would have – you can just imagine them playing yakety sacks while, like, they're fumbling it before the goal line, and then they pick it off at the goal line, but then fumble it into the end zone for the Titans to recover.
Kicked it twice into the end zone.
It actually – I don't – like there's probably somebody out there that lost a bet that's like – they have to be tanking. I don't think you can try to fail as much as like that. That was hard to do what they did. And the Titans still almost didn't win it.
The fourth quarter just had so much, the fumble on the goal line and then the interception kicked twice in the end zone, still all the attention. But mixed in there, the Titans scored, and it was like do they go for two or just take the extra point now kind of situation. and I'm really locked in. Like, what's Callahan going to do? Because so far he has made the wrong decision in every move. He decides, let's just take the extra point. We'll get our 2 later. But what's funny about that is the kicker shanked the extra point so bad. I mean, it was like a 90-degree angle to the left. So it's like we are just a walking circus in this fourth quarter here on both sides. Neither could get anything right, but we ended up being the team that won. So I guess I'll take it. Cam Ward's first win. Here we go.
Spencer Rattler got his first win after, was it 10 starts?
0-10.
Yeah, that was a rough start for him. The Ravens look like hot dog water, and I love it so much. Like, remember when before the season people were like, "Man, the AFC North, that's a gauntlet." Dude, the Steelers are going to mess around and go like 9-8 and win the division.
Yep. I was late getting here today because I was at basketball media day, and I was interviewing Owe, and I almost asked him about the Ravens because his brother, plays for the Ravens. I was like biting my tongue, like 1-4. What's going on, man? What's up? Because
defense,
just a shocking record for them, especially after that Week 1 game.
And their defense is what's awful, and his brother's a part of it. And I know they got a lot of injuries, Luckett, but their defense is,
Yeah. Great year. I'm having a blast. Let me tell you.
Yeah. We love football, don't we, Luckett?
Jake Browning
We love it.
Hey, you know what though? I
Stop.
appreciated that garbage time touchdown to T. Higgins. So
I bet you did.
Did you see the Texans rookie receiver do the Ray Lewis dance when they were up 41-10 and they wanted to murder him? But like that just shows Ravens. Come on, like you're getting taunted by a Texans rookie when the backups are in the second half.
Yeah.
The bad part about it is the guy who's not even a lifelong Ravens player. Like, did you learn all this hate in a few months? Because Jair was at freaking Green Bay and wherever he was, like, you weren't drafted by the Ravens. That was interesting. That's
Nick, we got to give a congratulations to Hot Dog Water.
Really?
Did you see his big play? Anthony Richardson.
Oh, where's Hot Dog Water?
That's what Vito called him. Because Indiana Jones is the best player in football now.
Right.
Anthony Richardson comes in and completed his first pass. So congratulations.
He completed a pass. Wow.
Yes. Well, do you know who caught it?
Hot Dog Water.
Do you know who caught Anthony Richardson's first pass of the season?
To the other team.
No, even better. Anthony Richardson caught Anthony Richardson's first pass.
Oh, he got batted right to him.
So Hot Dog Water had a big day.
I mean,
Hot Dog Water.
We do need to have probably a real conversation about how, like, shout out to NFL teams for figuring out these quarterbacks, like second go around that are getting it right. Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Baker,
Jared Goff,
Carson Wentz,
right here. Yeah,
Jake Browning.
Not Jake Browning. This time. Jake Browning, he bamboozled me, apparently.
But I can't remember anymore, like any other time when a quarterback was dead and then like has seemingly gone on to be pretty good. I mean, like Drew Brees, but that was an injury thing. Like usually it's an injury situation where you think they're done because of an injury. But these guys were just like, what do you say, Van?
Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno too. And I think what it just comes down to is they're in terrible situations and they get some good coaching around him. Is the NFL have a bad head coaching problem or something? Oh, God, I asked the wrong people. Sorry.
Yes, I know of one. To
your point, though, Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones.
It's wild that yesterday we had a Sam Darnold Baker Mayfield shootout.
Yeah.
They combined for 750 yards and had a collective 10 incompletions in the entire game. Two guys whose careers seemed to be dead just a couple of years ago.
Well, is Coach Zach done, Luckett?
It's trending that way. We'll see how it shakes out. But
are you cheering for it? Are you ready to move on?
Coaching's an issue, but overall their drafting's a bigger problem. They don't have the the roster's not good enough. So, like, firing him doesn't fix the draft problem they've had over the last few years. So, they've got a few issues there. And Mike Brown won't do anything unless it gets awful, but it's trending towards DEFCON status, I'd say.
Fun.
Yeah.
We're all having fun.
When you're drafting the first 5 quarterbacks in the draft, that means your team sucked the year before.
Yeah.
So there's more underlying reason than just a quarterback. So that's why these quarterbacks who get drafted top 5 have more success their second time around, because the team they're on stinks.
That's a good point. I'm very familiar with one of those teams.
Yeah, well, we know all about bad football. We get to watch it every Saturday, but not this Saturday. The Cats are on a bye. We got Red River do a little early scouting on the Horns. A lot more football to go, though. Still 7 games left in the regular season. Luckett and I'll have some 11 personnel with you on Wednesday night.
Tonight we got the Liam Cohen upset on Monday Night Football. Get ready. Write that down.
Money on? Jags money on?
I'm probably going to money on it. Although 3.5, that's pretty juicy. I might just take the points. But yeah, get ready. Get ready for Kentucky football fans to get even more upset when Liam Cohen is celebrating on the Chiefs tonight.
Just when you thought we couldn't get more upset, hold on to your butts, because it's going to get ugly, folks. For Adam Luckett, Drew Franco, and Van Hiles, I'm Nick Roush. It's been a pleasure. See y'all. Catch y'all on the flip side. Go Cats. Go Kroger.